I just started to fall asleep. I was like leaning back on my bus seat, and I just started to notice like he's getting super nervous,
Oh, no.
like he's looking at all possible directions, checking his email, and super nervous. And then I understood, okay, things are getting funny. Okay, let's see.
Something's wrong.
Something's definitely
very
wrong.
Welcome to The Practical Filmmaker, an educational podcast brought to you by the Filmmaker Institute and Sunscreen Film Festival, where industry professionals talk nuts and bolts and the steps they took to find their success today. On today's show, we actually dive into the tech side of film a bit and talk with Ruslan K, who used neural network technology to develop the automatic script breakdown and scheduling service Filmustage. Find the full transcripts and more at thepracticalfilmmaker.com. I'm your host, Tanya Musgrave, and today we have Ruslan K, Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Filmustage, a technology company that is streamlining the film production process by using neural network technology that automates the script breakdown process. So be sure to stay tuned to the end for a discount code so you can try it out for yourself. Ruslan, how did you end up here?
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for the invitation, Tanya.
Yes.
Pleasure to be here.
Welcome.
And talk to you. Thank you.
Yes.
We started back to 2019. I was quite bored. And my friend and CEO of Filmustage and co-founder as well, Igor Dubrovsky, he's a filmmaker, like 10 years plus of filmmaking and everything.
Yeah.
It was his journey supported by US Embassy to US to see how these things works on film sets in US back then. And accidentally, he was robbed. He was robbed in a very strange way. They went to see some blues or jazz musicians playing in the pub, and they left all their stuff at the car, like documents, equipment, money, literally everything.
Oh, no.
After 15 minutes, you can imagine what happened.
Yeah.
They found their car broken. No glasses, no nothing. So everything was stolen. And that's why he got stuck in the United States for half a year more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, trying to get new documents and find the way back home, literally working, filming stuff for food. I'm sorry, not really for food, for money, obviously, but
yeah.
Kind of trying to maintain.
Boys gotta eat. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to money to buy some food, really. So he got enough time to understand how processes works in reality, and it became quite clear that you guys love it to do in a very old school way, really, I don't know, conservative. You guys like to use spreadsheets a lot, like to use software like Movie Magic, which makes absolutely no sense to us. It's nonsense. It's came to us literally unchanged since 1987 or something like that.
So wait. So what do you use instead of that?
We decided we can do way better. We have a very advanced technologies nowadays called neural networks and the thing called natural language processing. Basically, there are software systems, programmable stuff, which are super good in understanding human language.
Yeah.
And screenplay is a human language, right?
Yeah.
So what we did, we trained a neural network on a bunch of screenplays. And now what we can do, we can feed the machine with a screenplay in a couple of minutes, sometimes even seconds. We get it carefully broken down into pieces, this thing called script breakdown, basically. So we can extract all the valuable, necessary information out of the text, like location details, actor names, where they mentioned, descriptions of them, props, vehicles, more than 20 categories of everything, and present it to you in a very user-friendly interface online, 24/7, accessible to everyone. So our mission, let's call it, to democratize the way of production movies, and in particular the pre-production step of it. So we started with this, say, the very beginning script breakdown, and we have more to come.
So neural network technology, you're going to have to explain a little bit more to me.
I'll try to. Basically, the idea is super simple. Using very simple mathematical functions and calculations, you can approximate with a good accuracy probably every possible system not depending on its complexity. So if you have enough independent functions in your model, if you have like millions of functions, so you can approximate literally everything. So for instance, you can simulate human voice. This is also a part of which task, what problems, what neural networks helps to solve. You can generate images. It's all digital information. And with powerful enough model, you can do all this and many, many more approaches. The very same works with human languages. They understand a lot about human language, how it's constructed, how the structure of sentences, the meaning of words, and you can generate new stuff and process existing text with that knowledge. So the idea of neural networks comes from the description. Basically, it's a way to simulate the behavior of human brain, because on the physiological level, it's super simple. You got neurons, which are basically cells, which get some kind of electrical inputs. And depending on the level of this input and on the state of the cell itself, it's able to generate the output. And this output goes to the next cell. And all of them has thousands of connections everywhere. And this system behaves in a really complex way. You can understand smell, taste, and everything. And all of them is basically electrical signals. So neural networks is a way to simulate human brain behavior.
So Filmustage, it's an automatic script breakdown and scheduling service that would break down on your site. It says 100 scenes in 1 minute.
Yes.
And it would have a free export in Movie Magic and PDF and spreadsheets. And, it's designed to save you time on routine tasks and streamline your production by using the scheduling feature. So automatic stuff, it's getting there, most definitely, but I'm kind of wondering what the accuracy is. Like, for instance, Rev, for transcribing. Rev, has a human feature to it. And then there's, kind of the automatic transcribe in Premiere, which has some room to improve, honestly. You still need a human component within there. So I'm kind of curious what the accuracy is.
If you want to hear the numbers, the accuracy is like 85%.
Okay.
For the best category.
Yeah.
And the point is like, well, okay, you probably will have at a certain point a human being at the other side, because you are the final decision maker. Okay, we can extract a fireplace for you out of the text and mark it as a special effect. And you might decide to do it with VFX, probably. So you are the final decision maker in this. So the whole point, the whole idea to get rid of really tedious job like copy paste and everything to somewhere and clicking through 100-page document. It's not super fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we are solving this issue.
This is the first I've really heard of AI in like script breakdown. Kind of like maybe there's a bit of it in Studio Binder, but I actually had a question about Studio Binder.
Okay, go ahead.
Particularly for the indie filmmakers who are more in that camp than Movie Magic. Are there potentials for any integration within Studio Binder?
Probably yes, because we have a really good, well-established API. We would like to have contact with anyone interested. Studio Binder approach, their way of breaking down the script lacks actually this smart approach, because they go very simple. Our solution is a few steps
beyond.
further. Well, we are competitors to some degree, definitely. We just built a really nice scheduling functionality. Also, we are going to cover a bit the budgeting side of your project. Our idea is to connect all sorts of markets. And for instance, actor agencies, props warehouses, equipment rentals, as well as location management or agencies, for you to be able to prototype your movie at the very early stage. So it should work like this. You upload the screenplay, break it down, do a few edits, and we suggest you the things and locations and actors you would like to use it to make your project real, with you basically the bigger picture.
So do you see any like particular quirks or any kind of problems or weaknesses that like you've seen users come across, but then like, oh, maybe like actually that is being worked on right now, like that kind of a thing.
Well, what we need to work with, usually it's a PDF file. And the internal structure of this beautiful format is super stupid. It's so unreliable. So we got all sorts of parsing troubles and decoding it on our platform. Like, well, it gets super funny with the very first page of the screenplay, whereas the name's written, or titles or something like that, it's always random. There was some time ago, it was a trouble when there was an image in screenplay. Which usually you should see no images there, but sometimes they get there. So our bug list and fixes list was quite long, and it grows every day. So believe me, it's really painful to maintain this, but we are trying really hard, and I hope we covered all possible kind of errors on our end by this moment. So it should be accessible and fully functional right now. If any one of our listeners and our customers find something unusual, please feel free to contact the support. We have a really nice small box on the corner of your screen. You can start your communication instantly right there. Just write us a few lines. If you got any trouble, please, we are always open to criticism or feedback.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. It's important for any kind of technology, or even like, I mean, we're in film, we're used to critique. I'm actually curious if you've had like, you know, like a test group of, I don't know, however many filmmakers who just like run this through and just like give you all of their feedback, you know?
Well, we actively selling. We have like 3,000 plus registrations since 2020. We're constantly getting feedback from them.
Okay, good.
So we kind of constantly talking to our users. We execute a series of interviews with our users to understand their own experience. One of them was quite noticeable. We had an event during Berlin Film Festival. We had a panel discussion about our platform, and one of our guests, Roger Christian, who was a set dresser of original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, wow.
You can see the recording on YouTube on our channel. There is like 15 minutes long speech from Roger, and he kind of validates our whole idea. He tells how cool is that to be able to understand and break down your script in a couple of minutes instead of weeks.
Okay. Awesome. That's incredible. What is your YouTube channel title?
Exactly the same, Filmustage.
Filmustage. All right.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely check it out. I'm always curious to know things that went wrong, you know, like a story of when something went wrong.
You want to hear a cool story? Okay, I got some for you. I got one really nice for you. So, okay, we're a startup. So a big chunk of our life is fundraising. So we constantly approaching different angel investors, funds and everything, going to events, hackathons, how they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Conferences, all sorts of events. So it was back to 2020, actually. We were on the way to Tallinn, Estonia, to present the whole working machine, the project, for the very first time. We just launched it in Google Cloud. Everything was super nice. We are super proud of our work. Everything was working, so anyone could register, upload their screenplay. Basically, it was ready to be presented to the audience.
Yeah.
And on our way to Tallinn from Vilnius, we were just, relaxing, chatting to each other. And my friend, the CEO of our company, Igor, he decided to do a really small fix to his Google account.
Oh, no.
And it was his personal Google account, and the project was created on top of that. And he did just a little small fix to his account, and everything just vanished.
Oh, no.
So
what?
Everything vanished. So the whole system just died.
Oh.
The website became inaccessible. And we started to instantly write to Google support service. They were telling us, okay, we are investigating your issue. We will reach back to you like in 2 days.
Oh,
okay,
no.
we have our presentation tomorrow. What are we supposed to do? So the lesson learned, never change nothing before your presentation or when you have something really important. Just relax. Just drink some beer. Just put your hands somewhere. That's the point.
Oh no.
So long story short, we got everything fixed back in a week actually.
Yeah.
But we were able to win the event, actually get all the possible awards from there because
that's awesome.
Used our soft skills. We're telling stories, showing nice pictures during our presentation. We prepared some offline running application on our own computer. So kind of find the solution for this horrible situation. you should see that guy during our bus trip. He was just literally shaking after he
yes
after he understood what he just done.
Oh my
so
gosh.
He literally ruined the result of our year-long work.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and like I'm sure that him breaking the news, that was a fun conversation to have. You like, guys, just to let you know.
Yeah. I just started to fall asleep. I was like leaning back on my bus seat, and I just started to notice like he's getting super nervous, like he's looking at all possible directions, checking his email, and super nervous. And then I understood, okay, things are getting funny. Okay, let's see.
Something's wrong.
Something's definitely
very wrong. Oh my gosh. We have a segment called Gear and Gadgets. Is there something that you can think of that is at kind of an intersection besides Filmustage that you would recommend?
Well, good question, actually. Well, as a developer, I recommend everyone to use MacBook Pro for development.
Yeah.
Because it's super reliable. Literally all kind of gadgets made by Apple. No advertisement here. Sorry. I just love it. They got really nice cameras and iPhones. I use Universal Audio equipment, actually. Universal Audio Aero series and Apollo Twin is super nice. And their audio plugins sound just so good. I love it.
All right, I've got a little bit of an existential question for you, since we're talking about AI in general. Looking forward into the future, a friend of mine, we have a lot of random conversations about AI, like in general, and like whether or not it's good for humanity or like if it's bad and, like technology that could potentially replace jobs. Like for instance, I remember talking to a friend here on the podcast. It was Matt Hadley. He's specifically entering the world of gaffing. And we were talking about stagecraft. It's basically the technology that through Unreal Engine that The Mandalorian was shot. There's a guy on set who, when they need like a 12 by reflector, he'll literally just draw a white square on one of the sides of the screens and boom, you've got a reflector, which usually would have been the job of, his role. It effectively downgrades his role on set. And I guess my question is like, where do you see yourself on the spectrum? Like more AI is better because it lowers the barrier of entry, like what you were saying, democratizing filmmaking? Or is it the converse of that, which creates a complete barrage of content? Like even along the lines of like, is more media better, like TikTok and everybody has a phone, everybody has a camera, or is it that better media is better? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Good question. So talking about that guy who's responsible for lights on the set, I believe.
Yeah.
So his job to maintain the light. And so the question is, does he really like to drag like real physical reflectors on the filming set? Probably not. So you can do something better, like create a virtual one. And you still need someone who knows how to operate with this system, with this stagecraft, right?
Yeah.
So we are not kind of firing a person, I guess. Yeah. We are just making his profession a bit more convenient. This is the transition I see in the real world. Like, okay, we have a bunch of routine, not super fun jobs, like, for instance, accounting or maybe some lawyer stuff. Maybe we can just automate something. Maybe we can help a person to spend more time on creativity, less time on routine. Answering your question, if AI is good for humanity, I think the question is yes, because it helps you to do more interesting things. Definitely some kind of professionals will probably lose their jobs. And the whole world of opportunities opens for them. They can learn how to operate with the systems. That's it. Because Doesn't matter how advanced is technology, you need to have someone who takes the decisions. So you need someone to knows how to operate with it. After all, it's just a machine. It might be super complex, super smart machine, but it cannot create. That's the point.
That is very true. What do we have to look forward to from Filmustage?
We are going to present marketplaces, I hope really soon, hopefully this summer or maybe early autumn. So we are going to build the whole platform, the whole system for you to make your project happen as soon as possible with as much fun as possible. Save your time, save your money, save your efforts. That's it. That's our mission.
Oh, producers will love that. So for independent filmmakers who are looking to try out Filmustage, what could they expect financially to have to invest?
So we are trying to make it accessible to everyone. We have different kind of plans or tiers suitable for any kind of productions and level. So you can start as cheap as $39 per month. If you need a bit more, you can switch to studio plan. It's $119 per month. And we also have special plans for bigger productions, which we would like to discuss personally. If you're a well-established studio or you have some special needs, we are more than open for, say, customization or fine-tuning everything for you. We can even fine-tune the neural network or the model better for your needs, tweak this, tweak that, create a standalone application never connected to internet. If you want to do that, we can discuss everything, because I know filmmakers, especially when they work with really, sometimes it's secret information, a screenplay of something new common, they would like to make sure it won't ever leak from someone's computer. The point is we can create a solution hosted on your own computers, for instance, or we can create an offline application for you. That's it.
Since it's a monthly subscription, you had mentioned that it was kind of on the Google Cloud, and wondering whether or not there was a desktop version where you wouldn't have to be connected to internet.
Now we have online platform, but if you need something special, let's talk.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, for those who want to try out Filmustage's breakdown services for yourself, you can get a 30% discount for the next year if you use Practical Filmmaker 30. That's 30. Again, that's Practical Filmmaker 30 for the discount code. And to wrap up, what questions should I have asked you?
Ask me something about startups, how to maintain a company, how to start, and where to look. What's the most important part? I love to answer these questions.
Okay, let's consider the question asked.
So I can give an advice to entrepreneurs how to start their own startup and what they need to consider to begin. So my idea is simple. Ideas cost nothing. The execution, this is what generates actually value. So your goal as an entrepreneur, as a startupper, if you want to become one of us, your mission is to create something really simple and show it to the market as soon as possible. Just collide it with the reality. That's the point. The earlier you do this, the better it will be for you.
You had mentioned just entrepreneurs in general, and honestly, for the most part, most filmmakers that I know would do well to take a business class or two, especially because they are sole proprietors or, they start a film production company or, something along those lines. Now, what would your advice be to them, the particular resources that they need to look out for and have part of their team?
As a startupper, you need to start to raise money as soon as possible, even if you don't have nothing real, if you don't have a functional product. Doesn't matter. You need to start raising funds as soon as possible. Get yourself ready for refusal. You're going to get lots of no's, 100 no's for 1 or 2 yes, and it's absolutely normal. It doesn't mean the investor don't like you. It just means they are not suitable for you, for industry you're trying to survive in, or maybe something else. There's always a good fit for your startup. That's the point. Just don't stop.
How do we find Filmustage?
Visit our website. It's super simple. filmustage.com. That's it.
Ruslan, I really appreciated this because we don't really talk to a lot of developers on this podcast, honestly. And this has been extremely enlightening. And I can't wait. I work as a producer as well. I can't wait to try out Filmustage for myself. This is great.
Thank you, Tanya.
We'll see you.
See you.
Thank
you.
If you enjoyed this interview, follow us right here and on Instagram, ask us questions, and check out more episodes at thepracticalfilmmaker.com. Be well and God bless. We'll see you next time on The Practical Filmmaker.